Hello, I'm Adam Grimes. Welcome to the Market Life Market Review for January 11th, 2018. So looking at your screen, this is a 30-minute chart of the S&P 500, day session only. And again, just to orient yourself, look down at the bottom and you can see the tick marks there. Many cases you can see from the gap, you can get an idea where the day session break is. But so what we see here is a market that has had a very strong trend, and I'm going to draw an imprecise trend line, and the trend line has broken. So this is what we've been on guard for, and we're going to look at how this is carried through to some individual stocks. But what I would suggest to you is that this range, yesterday's range, is very important today. And what we want to watch is to see what happens on the open. And there are, of course, broadly speaking, three possibilities. We can open above, below, or in yesterday's range. And that will give us a context for the early action. Let me draw this out a little bit more schematically here, see if I can. Okay, so here is yesterday's range. The opening today will be either within the range, above the range, or below the range. That is not yet enough information, because let's say we open above the range, then obviously there are, again, broadly speaking, two possibilities. We go back in the range in a failure, or we hold in the range in a continuation. Now, unfortunately, it's not easy to reduce this down to an easy rule set. If we see this, do this. But what I would tell you is if we open outside of yesterday's range today, on Thursday, and I know I have probably just confused yesterday and today a minute back because I'm recording this the previous day. But if today, Thursday, opens outside of yesterday's range, that's going to put us on guard for the possibility of a strong trend day. And then what we would need to do is drill down one step further and see what happens in that first half hour. Sometimes even in the first 10 minutes, we'll get a pretty good clue. But we'll have some idea which one of these scenarios is in play. Now, on the other hand, and the same thing is true to open below, of course, but if we were to open somewhere in the range, I would expect another relatively range-bound day, because the thinking is, in terms of big trend structure, we've had a lot of up days, and having some sideways down to correct that proportionately is just normal. It's just the way the market works, and I've stressed that. Let's jump out to a daily time frame here. Just in the interest of education as far as patterns go. So yesterday, and that is actually, I can scroll the chart over. So when we had this situation yesterday, I made the case that this range, this high-low range, and that's what the blue and red lines are, that helps you see each trading day and lets you see the range. So here's the range of the previous trading day. Now, not every day's range is incredibly important, but given the magnitude of this trend, the fact that this was really the first significant pullback and that it was kind of a sideways type of consolidation day, I made the argument that we could look for a gap opening above or below the day's range, and then the early action, as long as we did not retrace back into the day's range, would set the trend for the day. And I just want to point out, this is not me saying, oh gosh, look how right we were. That's not the point here at all. The point here is to see that this is a repeatable pattern. And if you know when to look for these in the market rhythm, then these type of openings can give you great insight into character for the day. So that's just an illustration I think is very vivid here on the intraday chart, but that's something you want to keep in mind. And if you did not really catch those comments when I made them in real time, then I think this will give you, yesterday's action is a good thing to remember to let you know what you're looking for in the future. and there will definitely be points, usually a couple times, maybe once a week or so, sometimes more, where we're able to set up these types of moves. And if you're a day trader, it's obviously incredibly valuable. But if you're a position trader, it's still very important context. So just a little pattern lesson there hidden inside today's video.